Pikes Peak Regional Building Department is a joint service facility, not-for-profit enterprise that's formed by an intergovernmental agreement by the 7 different jurisdictions that we serve. Our primary responsibility is issuing permits and doing subsequent inspections for those permits. The important thing about the homeowner using a licensed contractor is the person who pulls the permit is responsible for the completion of the job and making sure that it complies with all the rules and regulations specified in the scope of work of the permit. A homeowner by ordinance may go ahead and pull the permit on their own, but the requirement for that is that they're supposed to own the land, that they're going to live there or have intentions of living there, and they're doing the work themselves. Normally those are limited to things such as installing water heaters and roofing. As you can see behind me, removing debris such as this is going to take heavy equipment and special equipment, and usually homeowners just do not have that type of facilities available to them. If you get involved with a non-licensed contractor and you pull the permit, then you're responsible for not only the debris removal, but the correct transportation, or transporting of it, I should say, and actually deposit at one of the approved landfills. To find out if a contractor is licensed, they can go to our website, which is small case letters, www.pprbd, which stands for Pikes Peak Regional Building Department.org. You'll see a picture of our building. Right in the center, you'll see right above on a light blue bar the word contractor. If you do that, you'll see a drop-down menu that will say search for contractor. Press on that, and there's multiple ways of finding out whether a person is licensed or not. In order for a contractor to be licensed with Pikes Peak Regional Building Department, it's just not a matter of registration. There's a process that they have to go through. One is showing work and years of experience. The other one may be taking a test to show that they understand the code. But the important thing is that they have to provide us with proof of insurance, both in liability and in workman's compensation. To find out more about contracting, you can actually probably call the Housing Building Association. Most of their members are contractors. You can also go to the Pikes Peak Regional Building Department website, and under Contractors, click Regional Building Department Code, and under there it will take you to the section that spells out the requirements for contractors and their responsibilities to the citizens of El Paso County. As far as different phases of cleanup, it can actually be done in phases, or you can just do it all out. Right now, we're seeing the majority of the people starting with the demolition debris permit, which will allow them to remove all the burnt debris, whether it's exterior or interior. Does not include the removal of trees, does not include the removal of the foundation. Most people want to go this way because at that time they'll have the foundation cleaned up. If you know that for whatever reason that you don't want to go that way and you want to directly pass go and collect your $200, you can go directly to a wrecking permit. A wrecking permit is a little bit more complicated in the fact that instead of just coming in and pulling the permit or pulling it off our website, you do need to go through Colorado Springs Utilities to make sure that the utilities have been removed the proper distance from the site of excavation, and they're capped in order to maintain their integrity. The only way that a person's going to know whether their foundation is good or not is to have a design professional take a look at it. If you want to reuse your foundation, we must have a letter from that design professional stating that it's acceptable to build on. We want to make sure that the citizens of El Paso County are protected. So they're protected by the fact that when they pull the permit, we get the proper agencies out here inspecting and making sure that the work is done according to code. In the particular case of the demolition permit and also on the wrecking permit, we're teaming up with the El Paso County Health Department as they take a look at how the debris is being removed.
El Paso County Public Health works with Air Quality Control Division with the State Health Department. We have a contract with them and they give us a scope of work, and one of those is responding to air quality complaints, whether that's fugitive dust or odor. So obviously this project here, Flying W Ranch Road up here in Mountain Shadows, is important to us to make sure that we're minimizing that fugitive dust. The concerns we have with ash, as you can see here, is it's like it's flour. It's very powdery. It'll get up into the air, and breathing that, getting into your lungs, is where we're concerned that it gets in the deep tissues and causes those sores within the lungs. As you can see, we've got few homes burnt, some standing, people living in those homes. The biggest concern we have is when this ash is blowing. If it is blowing and you're smelling it, you see it, get out of that area, get inside, close your windows, close the doors. If the ash is over there, your risk is much, much lower. But when it's blowing at you, that's when you want to get away from it. Get kids out of there, get pets and animals away from the ash, and make sure you're in a safe environment. Individuals that are sifting the debris, etc., should first always have a mask, and they should say NIOSH N95. Health Department, we have some of these. You can come visit us and we'll give you a handful of free ones. Also wear long sleeve shirts, gloves, long pants to protect your skin, but really keeping the dust or the ash out of your mouth and your lungs and keeping it off your skin. We've been asked a lot by folks, is asbestos within the homes. Asbestos is going to be at very, very minor amounts because these homes were built in the mid-'80s, starting about '84, and asbestos since 1982 has been banned within American production of homes. So the concern of asbestos is minimum, but again, wear your mask and keep your long sleeve shirts on to minimize any risk of asbestos. The health department's role with the contractors of moving ash debris is really, there's three requirements. The first is wetting the product during the cleanup process. And that's a continual process, not just wetting it once. They've got to wet it throughout the process to keep those ash blooms down to a minimum. Number two is making sure when the ash is being transported out, it's in a lined, kind of what we call a burrito. It's a 6mm liner from top to bottom, making sure the ash isn't leaking out or blowing out as it's being transported. The third one, going to an approved landfill. We have 3 here in El Paso County that are accepting the ash and debris. The reason we're asking the contractors to line the trucks with this 6mm plastic is during the wetting process, some of this material gets kind of sloppy mud and it'll start leaking out, and then it'll leak down the road and it'll get into our storm drain, which ends up into our streams and monument, into the Fountain Creek. So we want to keep that all contained so it's not leaking out or blowing out as it's being transported to our landfills. If you see a contractor that's not wetting the product, or the product's leaking out or blowing as they're driving down the road, you call the health department. You can call our hotline, our air quality hotline, or you can email us through our website at elpasocountyhealth.org. There's a link on the main page to submit an air quality complaint, and we'll get that and we'll respond in a timely manner and work with the contractor to rectify the issue. If you're an individual living in the home nearby some of these burnt homes, basic things you can do, and we have a lot of information on our website, but use HEPA filter vacuums. Dust daily, removing the product out of there. If you want to look at air purifiers, there's a list of the do's and don'ts with air purifiers on our website. It'll link you to the EPA's website. But I would welcome everybody to our website. We have a brochure put together by State Health Department that identifies what individuals can do to protect their own environment within their house. But again, if you have that blowing ash, the wind's kicking up, close the windows and doors. I know that's difficult when it's hot outside, but try to minimize that ash from getting into the house. I've been asked, is EPA and OSHA involved? As far as the EPA, Colorado is a delegated state, so what that means is the state health department takes on those roles, and then we're contracted with them. So our guidelines and guidance comes from the EPA, state health department, then the local. As far as OSHA, we're giving out information from OSHA on safety protection for the workers, but I have not heard of OSHA being involved.
We also team up with the City of Colorado Springs Engineering Stormwater to make sure that the lot, after it has been cleaned up, or actually the wrecking permit and the foundation is gone, that the lot is stabilized to control erosion. We have 2 methods of rebuilding the home that you had before. You can go to our website again and click under Waldo Canyon Fire and take a look where it says building permit. What we have is scenario number 1, which is if we have the plan on file, which we probably do because we have over 2 million images. If we have the plan on file, and if we receive a letter from a licensed design professional such as an engineer that the foundation is structurally sound to build on, then you can actually come down to Regional Building Department with a copy of your plans, meet with the plans examiner, and probably within 20 minutes complete the regional building portion of it. After that, you will need to go upstairs to see the Development Review Enterprise and the fire department. They'll do their check as far as what their requirements are, but you should be able to get that permit turned around very quickly. Well, foundation would probably have some structural damages made to it, depending upon the temperatures reached during the fire. You have to remember that even though it's made out of concrete, which is non-combustible, doesn't mean that extreme heat, as some of these fires produce, couldn't weaken it structurally. Also, in the top and bottom of the foundation, normally there are some steel bars to help formulate the system of the foundation. Those steel bars could become weakened by, again, the heat. Also, if you take a look around the foundation, there's what we call foundation bolts. That's what your wood frame actually bolts to. And so if those foundation bolts are structurally damaged, then that causes a problem as well. If an owner plans to move away from the neighborhood and not rebuild, then we ask that they get a wrecking permit. The wrecking permit then will allow them to move all the debris, including the foundation. Once the foundation is gone, it's required that fill be brought in, that the lot be returned to its natural grade, and that you would need to then get together with Colorado Springs Stormwater and make sure that the site is stabilized for erosion control. Sometimes it would require silt fences, sometimes it will require straw bales, sometimes it would require some sort of wattles, which look like snake kind of sandbags. But the Colorado Springs Stormwater Division has all that information, and we'll go through it with you.